Cheyenne.
Hey, what's going on? So I'm just gonna jump right into my favorite Martin Luther King
Yeah,
moment.
please try to rinse us out of that whole
Yeah.
shit fest. Sorry. Crap. Whatever. I'm trying to keep it clean for the thing, but it's hard to do that when you have people calling in and they spew hate and they spew, negativity. And here's the thing, Cheyenne, I'm going to let you get to it, but my whole where I come from is that you're either preaching the King's word all day or you're not. And so to come in and talk about, I'm excited about my haircut, I'm excited about
This is his day.
this is his day.
Yes.
Right?
Hair day.
So if you're concerned with that, that says to me, you don't give a fuck. You don't, sorry, I know I'm cursing, but you don't, frankly, you're shitting all over Martin Luther King on his birthday, basically. You're looking at him, he wore that nice suit during the I Have a Dream speech, and you're taking a handful of your own fecal, and you're just you're going up to his lapel and just smearing it down his fucking chest.
Happy birthday, Martin.
Happy birthday, Martin. How's that?
Wow.
And that's just fucked up to me. So to me, Cheyenne, and to anyone else who wants to call in and talk about their haircut, you get your haircut like Dr. Martin Luther King. Or shut up. So if Ashley calls back in again, she better have a haircut exactly like Dr. Martin Luther King. Her head better look just like his or fuck off. And I don't mean to curse. Anyway.
Okay. So my favorite Martin Luther King moment would have to be when you go to Washington, D.C. and you go to the Lincoln Memorial. It's on the steps. It's etched into the ground. His name, the date of the speech, and that's where he stood when the speech was given. And just being there and kind of looking over, and you realize the timelessness of his speech and how we should still be trying to live by that today.
So you kind of have a virtual Martin Luther King experience. You pretend to be him.
No, I don't pretend to be him. I could never be as great as him, but...
What's your best, if you could do one right now, I'll give you the spotlight. Do your best Martin Luther King impression.
My best Martin Luther King impression.
Right now, you're at the podium,
Okay.
looking over the crowd. People are like, "Yeah, give your speech. Martin, say some words of peace." And you spent the whole night writing. Close your eyes as I explain this.
Okay.
You just spent the whole night writing. You were up. You were listening to your favorite records.
Song.
Yeah, you were listening to your favorite lit album and Alien Ant Farm, whatever, and you wrote the best speech. These words are going to change the nation. Everyone's been waiting for this. They've been talking on Twitter all about it. Okay, open your eyes. There's the crowd in front of you. And they just went silent. You could hear a pin drop in Washington, D.C. Go ahead.
I have a dream. And that dream is that everyone would get along and not be so concerned about what somebody looks like, but be concerned about what is in their heart. And it's a simple...
You're killing me. He already gave another speech where he said, "I have a dream." He already did that.
Mm-hmm.
How you should have started is, this would have been killer. Because everything else you said was good, but you should have started with, ready? You should have started with this. I had another dream.
Oh, that's actually pretty good.
That would have redeemed the whole thing. So
Yeah.
I'll still give it to you, but you know,
Okay.
if you start with that, then you're set because it's like you're not ripping him. He's not ripping himself off. He's kind of doing a new chapter.
Yeah.
I had a
See, I was going for you give the people what they want, but you got to change it up a little bit too.
Yeah.
I get it. I get it.
Yeah, no, you're right because like Apple does the whole one more thing. Oh, and one more thing.
Yeah.
Martin Luther King could be like, "I have a dream," and say it every time. But he should say, "I have many dreams."
Yeah. Yeah.
So actually, he fucked up the first time. He shouldn't have said, "I have a dream." He should have said, "I have many dreams."
Mm-hmm. Many
so that
dreams,
can kind of
yes.
hype up future speeches. Of course, he didn't give any because. All right. Yeah. Do you have a question?
I did. So I got pulled over for the first time this last week.
Yeah. Hey,
And-
is it? You tell me. I don't know. Maybe it's different for you. Is it not the worst thing ever?
Yeah, it was pretty.
Like, I've been pulled over a dozen times. I've been through some bad stuff, some crazy stuff. No matter how brave I could be about anything, when I get pulled over, I'm shitting my pants. And it's like, it can be for nothing.
Yeah.
Sometimes I've even been pulled over and I know, oh, my tail light's out or something simple. But I always shit my pants. I'm always like, oh, no. It's like throwing up. I've thrown up 1,000 times. But when you're about to throw up, oh, God, oh, no. It's like the worst thing ever, you know? Anyway, sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I supposedly ran a red light, whatever.
Okay.
I didn't really, but that's what he claimed.
Sure.
And I thought I was going to get a warning because it was my first offense.
Yeah.
But I got a $98 ticket,
Oh, my God.
which people have had worse, but I thought it was a
think
little
they're-
ridiculous.
You don't live in California.
No.
Okay. Because I think it's a lot more here.
Really?
I think it's
really?
like a few hundred here. I could be wrong.
Wow.
But I feel like that happened. I remember my brother when he was really young.
Yeah.
They said he ran a red light. And I may be remembering a different incident, but I just remember he got a ticket and it was like, man, he has to like work this off. Like it was not...
Yeah.
It was definitely not $98. It was a lot. And I just remember thinking, like, my brother was like a kid. He had a job pretty early on, and I just thought, like, man, he has to work so much
To pay this off.
just to pay that off. And I was like, it sucked. Anyway, I understand. You got to get, hey, you break the law, you got to ding him here and there. But when it's an amount that was like, dude, I want to say it was like a $400 ticket or a $500. It was something that was just like, oh my God.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know. Anyway, but I was bummed.
Okay, but that is kind of a good segue into the question that I had, and
Sure.
that was, what is the most ridiculous reason you've been pulled over for, and then what was the most expensive ticket that you've ever been given?
I've been pulled over probably 8 to 10 times.
I've never been pulled over.
Really? Not once?
Not once.
Wow. Probably 8 to 10 times, and never ever got a ticket until last year.
I was with you with that one.
And yeah, Kevin was with me. We were going to Slater's late
That
at
was
night.
a bad night.
And I really didn't. I was driving. I was over the speed limit, but not a lot. I was driving like 90.
No.
I think it was like you're supposed to go 65. I was probably going 75. Within 10 miles, I don't even think about it.
Yeah.
But 85 is you notice that, but anywhere within 10 miles, I don't notice. And and I got it. I was pulled over, and it was like I've been pulled over for speed. There was one time I was going 50 in like a 25 mile. Like I've gone really fast, but they always warned me. They were always just like, "Hey, well, you better not do that again." Whatever. There was a time I was pulled over, and my back lights were out, and my license was expired. And the guy was like, "Look, hey man, I'm not going to give you a hard time about this. You know the drill." Okay. Like I should have gotten so many tickets there, but I never did. And then when I was pulled over that one time last year, I got a shitty ticket. And then we drove to Slater's, and Slater's had just changed their hours. They were open till
1 a.m.
They were open till 1 a.m. every day, and we got there at 11, and they just started closing at 11. And so I walked in, well, at least I can eat something good. And we walked in, and all the employees looked at us like we were idiots. Like, just like, can we help you?
Yeah.
You know why I'm fucking here. You know that your hours a day ago was till 1 a.m. Oh, can I help you? Oh, what do you think? You wondering how you can help me? Give me a fucking burger. Anyway, I was pissed. So that was a quiet drive home.
Yep.
The drive back was just... Like, at least if I had gotten
The burger,
the burger with peanut butter and jelly on it, I would have been a good night. But, man, it pissed me off. I was so bad. Anyway. Yeah, so anyway, sorry. So that was the most. That was in the couple hundred. That was 200 and something. But that's it. That's the only ticket I've ever got.
Wow.
But you never. I was about to ask you.
Never been pulled over.
Yeah, the same thing happened to me kind of too, because I didn't. Well, I have my permit. I don't have my license, and I had two people in the car, which I don't know if those restrictions really apply if you're over 18. But
yeah,
so I
don't
had
know
just
if
a
they
permit.
do if you're over 18.
Yeah.
No, I don't think. There was something that you had to be 25 for. What was that? Here in California, anyway.
I think it was being taught, like, you can get a permit and have somebody help you learn.
Someone at least 25 has to be in the car.
Yeah.
Or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. It works all different
another
in California.
16-year-old's like, oh, let's learn, okay.
Yeah. So, anyway, yeah.
Yeah, so that was all. He didn't say anything about that, though, which really surprised me. And then I also am in the middle of transferring insurance, and in Wisconsin, you have to have an insurance on your car. Otherwise, you can get in trouble for that. So I was in the middle of transferring insurance, so I didn't think it was active at the time, but he didn't say anything about that. He just said, oh, your insurance expires on the 28th. Be sure to renew that. Oh. So I kind of looked out a little bit because I could have gotten in a lot more trouble, but it was just the ticket, which I think I'm going to fight because it's like the speed limit over there is 45 and the light changes to yellow so quickly, and I was almost like up to where I was going to cross through the intersection, and so I keep going and it turns red like when I'm 3/4 of the way through. So I guess I ran a red light, but
yeah, I don't know.
Technically,
that's up to you to fight it, but I've heard of that. I mean, that happens.
Yeah.
I still laugh about when my brother got his red light ticket. We had cameras for a while.
They just like in the last year ripped them all out.
Yeah, in the last year they were deemed like unconstitutional.
They're like, hey, we got to rip these all out. They're not.
Which is good. Hey, you got to pay. You pay the price, you break the law. Okay, whatever. But humans make mistakes, and those cameras were so unforgiving.
No, they're just like
Like let a human decide if you get a ticket or not. Don't leave it up to a fucking machine. So that was a dumb idea in the first place. But they busted my brother, and he went through the thing. And it was so funny because they send you the photo.
Yep.
And it was my brother going, like, open mouth. And my brother was in such a bad mood when he got that in the mail. This is when I still lived at home. And so did he. And we got that. And my dad, like... It's so weird because I saw the picture and I knew Dominic was probably yelling, fuck! Or he was mad. But my dad saw the picture. Oh, look, Dominic, he caught you singing. And my brother was so pissed off and just looks up at my dad. I was saying fuck! And it was for some reason that exchange. My dad had just the biggest smile. Look, they caught you singing. I was saying fuck! I don't know. That exchange just always made me laugh. Anyway.
I had another question real quick.
Yeah.
It's kind of specific, so maybe you won't have a story, but I figured let's just try it. So I was having a conversation with somebody that I used to work with, and one of her fears, I guess, is that she'll be driving home from work and all of a sudden get Alzheimer's. And she's like 25, so it's not really possible, but she just thinks that when she's driving home, she'll forget where her house is and that she'll not know how to get home. And I was just wondering if you guys had any weird, like, things that are irrational, but you still kind of, like, think about them, and they kind of affect the way you do things.
Irrational thing that affects how you do things. I know I'm sure I have one, but I'm trying to think.
Yeah.
Because the one that I have is I go to a lot of concerts, and some of them have really crazy light shows, And I don't have epilepsy, and I don't
Yeah.
think you can just get epilepsy. But I
Yeah.
always think, what if these lights are so intense that I didn't know I had epilepsy before,
Sure.
but all of a sudden it's just going to happen.
Sure.
So.
I think for me, oh man, that's a good question. I know Derek has a few of those.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know if you would want me to say that, but I know he has a thing where, like, at the gas station, I remember a teacher once told us, like, you know, theoretically, if you open or close your door while you're getting gas, it could make a spark.
Mm-hmm.
But there's almost no chance of that happening.
Yeah.
But you shouldn't do that while it's pumping gas. And Derek never forgot. It's like, if there's even a chance, don't do it. And like, he has a real fear of that. Not a fear, but he just doesn't do it.
Yeah.
I don't care. I'll open the door. But I think for me, I remember watching some shitty daytime special about parasites. They're everywhere. You know, like, bacteria is everywhere. You know, like one of those, whatever, when I was a kid. And I remember someone talked about, when you go to bed, you have to flip your pillow over from the night before. Otherwise, you're laying in parasites. And that was so dumb, but I still think of that. Every time I go to bed, I flip the pillow over.
Really?
And who cares? It does not matter. But I do that. When I go to bed, I flip it and I lay down. That always just stuck with me. Do I really think anything will happen? Absolutely not, but I just do it.
Yeah. I can't think. I know I have one, but I just can't think of it. Because I've lost, like, you do it so often that you forget.
Yeah. It's true.
I don't know.
Anyway, does that answer your question?
Yeah, definitely. Thank you for taking my call.
Yeah, thank you. Have a good night.
Okay. Yep, bye.